Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Hope we're all well. Well, this weather looks nice, doesn't it? Once again, it seems our VFR tour may fall foul to the weather. We may have to come off live weather. But we shall take off and see what happens. You may be wondering why we are a day late. This is normally a Sunday evening stream. Well, for those of you not in the UK, it has been a bank holiday weekend, which essentially means we've all had Monday off. So everyone's back at work tomorrow, so we postponed the flight, the chill out, relaxing VFR flight, by 24 hours, and we're here instead. Let's have a quick look. Where are we? We are at Portsmouth International Airport at Pease. Continuing today our flight down I-95, if we can actually see it in this weather. Who knows? Today we should get to Boston at least, and perhaps even a little further beyond as well. But that's the beauty of these flights. We have no idea where we're going to end up, how far we're going to get, and it's all a case of learning. I have Google Maps open at the side of me. And yeah, we're just following along. Anyone that wants to join, we are on the North Europe server at Portsmouth International Airport at Pease. So, good evening to all our channel members. Hello to Christian, Cardinal Chubby as well, Matthew, Pilot Pat, Chris Hogg, good to see you. Dr. Magic as well. Great to have you guys all on board. So, this weather is terrible. We're going to take off and see how we get on. In order to do that, let's get inside our flight deck. And if you guys want to tell me what the levels are like with regards to my voice and the music, we like to have some music for these streams, of course. But we're going to get out of here. Who knows? The weather might improve. I doubt it, though. What's the name of the tropical storm that's heading up? Was it Hurricane Ida? It's now been downgraded to a tropical storm, either way. So, let's just check. We've got this running. We'll release the parking brakes, and we're going to get out of here. I'm going to take off then, runway, which runway is it? So we'll take off runway 16, if I just bring this in here now. We're going to taxi out. We're around here somewhere. We're going to taxi out on here. We're going to take off runway 16. As soon as we take off 16, we're going to make a left bank, and there's I-95, the Blue Star Turnpike, which we're going to follow down. So let's head out. Parking brake released. So great to have many of you flying with us today as well. Simon, it's a much simpler startup than the A320. Yeah. But I do cheat. I just press Control E. Lewis Aviation, you've had to become a member again. Oh, thank you so much. Hope you're well, Lewis. Alright, this guy's not going to get out of the way, is he? So Lewis, welcome so much back to the First Officers Club, Lewis. Great to have you back with us. So we'll get up in the air and we'll see what it looks like. It looks very murky. I'm not sure what the long-term forecast is. I'm presuming the weather's going to get worse the further south we go. So Michael, good evening. You hope we get to Boston. Perhaps we'll fly over the iconic Fenway Park. Yeah, well, when we get to main cities, stuff like that, we're definitely going to have a little look around, rather than just continuing straight past. It'd be kind of nice to do that, wouldn't it? Right, let's go and get on to runway 16. We don't need a lot of runway for taking off. Look at the weather. We can see the rain. Matthew, yeah, this will be a good snapshot of the weather coming your way, won't it? You're a little bit further north than where we are right now, I believe, if that's the case. So as soon as we take off, if you look to our right, there should be the Pease Golf Course. Not many players on that, I suspect, right now. Maybe all playing the 19th hole. Get some flaps down, ready for our very short takeoff roll in this aircraft. Oh, Lewis, you've signed your first professional contract. Lewis, that is fantastic, particularly given how you were obviously out with COVID, weren't you, at the over the summer. Well done, Lewis. That is fantastic news. Remember us all when you're famous, Lewis, won't you? Oh, just before I take off, I've just seen the Nightbot is giving Duff information. Let me see if I can just nuke the Nightbot. There we go. Right, left turn, and off we go. It does look a little brighter over there, actually, doesn't it? He says hopefully. Thunder clouds as well. Dreeny, hello. Leonard Webber, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well as we get airborne. GD, good evening. Won't be long till we have 16k subscribers. It's wonderful. It truly is. It's unbelievable, but it's wonderful. Big thanks to each and every one of you. Right, I can already feel that. There's a crosswind on departure today. Just checked before taking off. And I can feel my aircraft weather vaning into that wind. But we should be able to get up and away with that. A little bumpy. There we go. So, given the state of the weather, we are most certainly not going to be flying much higher than maybe even 1,000 feet. So we'll trim this aircraft out in a second. Now look at that. If it starts to ruin our visual pleasures, then we shall go with a nice mix of a preset of clouds. So, golf course now to our right. Let's have a quick look, shall we? We're not even out of the airport perimeter just yet. But that's just down there. And then we've got a few buildings, and there it is. There's I-95. We've got a double rainbow coming up as well. This is going to be hard works on the graphics, isn't it? So there's I-95 straight beneath us. I can just see the bunkers of the golf course. Just in your screen now. We're going to switch to an external view once I've just trimmed the aircraft out correctly. And then we can have a look and see what's happening. But I don't think we can maintain decent VFR and pleasurable flying with this state of weather, can we? It looks a little bit abysmal. I mean, to be fair, actually, almost looks like the clouds are parting for us, doesn't it? Looks a little bit like those clouds are parting right down I-95. At departure airport was KPSM, that's right. Good evening to Obi-Wan and Keyboard Warrior. We've actually just got to check that we take the right route here. Those two roads just split. One is road 33. I don't know what the prefix to that is, by the way. We call them A roads and B roads here in the UK. And it is that weather. It just seems to be clearing at the minute, so I'm going to leave live weather on for the time being. Christian, you've been waiting for this flight to check out your new better graphics card. How's it working for you? Cardinal 22, you think Moses has been in the aircraft in front of me? Yeah, could be right. And with a username like Cardinal 22, I'll believe you. So yeah, while ever we've got decent visual with I-95, let's stick with it, shall we? I just want to head back in there. I don't want to climb too high. Let's just trim that out. I reckon 2,000 feet is plenty, maybe even a little less. I can see rain clouds dead ahead, though. You guys, I'm sure, can also see that as I just trim this aircraft out nicely. The fact that it's turbulent also means it's a little bit more difficult to trim out. So, for the first couple of episodes of this series, we've had a lot of green land. We've had lots of trees, very few settlements. It's a little bit different now. We've got quite a few things coming up. So Boston, of course, we should be able to see a little bit later on. And a heck of a lot of golf clubs. So I have got Google Maps open at the side of me, as you have already seen. And now I believe we are coming to the Hampton Ramp Toll Plaza. Straight ahead of us, you can see all of that just just there. Is that some tennis courts just by the nose of the aircraft that I can see? Possibly. I do think the simulator, and I've said this before, I think the simulator handles tennis courts, sports courts, school playing fields, stuff like that really, really well. Aiden, you've just opened Microsoft Flight Sim to join us and is now doing an update. We'll see you next week. Matthew, for whatever reason, New Englanders love golf. Yeah, I'm kind of getting that feeling. So there is the Hampton Toll Plaza. Remember, of course, we are always on the lookout for McDonald's on these flights. Is my aircraft climbing again? Yeah, I thought so. Let's head back down, shall we? Because it's going to otherwise take us into those clouds and out of the fun viewing area. So there's the Toll Plaza behind us. And I think we are going to have to look at changing this weather, because sadly Moses ahead of us has lost his powers. That doesn't look too pleasurable ahead of us, sadly. Ooh, but there's the New Hampshire Liquor and Wine Outlet just coming up. I believe that is that's right there on both sides of the road. So it doesn't matter if you're northbound or southbound. You have a New Hampshire Liquor and Wine Outlet. Maybe we should have landed in the car park. There's the Taylor River Reservoir that you can just see poking through. Oh guys, I am going to have to change the weather, sadly. I love live weather, but it's just going to spoil the atmosphere of the flight, isn't it? So let me just go. We're not going to go with no clouds. Let's go with scattered clouds, I think, and I think that's fine. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That looks a little better. There we are. So sadly, had to come off live weather. Never mind. Never mind. Indeed. So I believe now over to the left as we're flying. There is a little village town called Hampton Falls, which appears to have a massive, is that a massive school building? I think. Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Actually, I tell a lie. Sorry, we've passed Hampton's Falls. Guess what it is? Any prizes for guessing what that big building over just there on my left wingtip is? It is, of course, a Walmart. You could play bingo, word bingo, or store bingo with these flights. McDonald's and Walmarts. You're bound to win. Drini, quite right. I don't think the weather's going to get any better, so we might as well come off live weather. Matthew, the wine places, those places are super popular due to no sales tax in New Hampshire. Ah, right, I see. Matthew, I love having you on these streams, mate. You just fill in all the blanks for us. We spot things and then you tell us why they're there. And I believe this is the border. We're now coming over into Massachusetts. Is that right? I think. So I think we've just crossed over into Massachusetts, and the you can see now on my left wingtip just a little retail centre. Cube Smart Self Storage. I don't know if they're a big chain or what. Dr. Magic, hello. Yeah, you've changed your weather. You were going to brave it, but nah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. As I say, we've sadly had to change it. And the little intersection here. Oh, this is the first time I've seen a Burger King. There is a Burger King down there. There is also a McDonald's as well. Oh, and Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin' Donuts. And this is the Merrimack River weaving its way through. Yes, so Burger King and Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, etc. is all down there. I think there's the Burger King. I think there's the McDonald's, and that rather large building there is the Stop and Shop. Now the weather's died down. Let me just see. Are we flying nice and level? Yeah, we're slightly creeping up. That's okay. That's okay. We'll keep an eye on that. So, large residential area then just here. There's another McDonald's. Can you believe it? Actually, yes, you probably can. They're everywhere. So how many of you guys are flying with us just this afternoon? That was St. Mary's Cemetery as well that we just flew over. Magic Norm, hello mate. Do you know what? If you want to join us, I actually have no idea which I can't see any airports around us at the moment. But we're now passing, or rather we're coming up to City Forest, as it's called. Again, this is probably, is this the last sort of barren area? I say barren, it's not barren at all, it's very lush and green. But we're just coming to a suburban area now, which, as we look forward, Boston isn't going to be too far away. I'm looking forward. We're gonna do a bit of a tour around Boston. We're not just going to bypass Boston. It's the first major city that we'll have hit on the I-95 tour. Oh, Simon, thank you so much for your donation. Simon says some change to get a couple of donuts for myself and the crew. You are very, very kind, Simon. Thank you for your long and continued support of the channel. I think Christian's called it. I reckon if anyone wants to join now, get yourself at Boston Logan. We'll definitely be doing a flyby of Boston Logan. Massachusetts State Police. Now that is coming up in a second. You can just see the intersection coming up, and I think it's even got a little building there, hasn't it? Yeah, you just see the little building there. I'm just checking that it's the right intersection, because there's quite a few that I may have just bypassed. That might not be the right intersection, actually. In fact, it is not. That's behind us. Right, so the Freedom Fertility Pharmacy is that great big building that you can see that's sort of curving around just here with the Larkton Mill Pond and Little River. I don't know if you can just see that. See that there? Newbury Town Hall is situated somewhere around here. I'm not sure if that's been replicated too well. But there are a lot of trees in the distance. Now I'm looking for one of these sort of fire break lines. I've not seen any of those on this stream so far. We'll see if they have them. Should be a rather large road just here to the right. I believe this is North Street, which weaves its way in and around. But we've done many miles already, quite a few hundred miles already, and a lot of the time we've been flying this, we've seen nothing but trees. And as I say, this should be one of the episodes where we see a lot more in terms of buildings and different settlements. So this is a little place. Is it called Muddy Creek? There's the Muddy Creek Animal Centre just there, and the Mission Georgetown Cannabis Dispensary, which to us here in the UK just sounds absolutely crazy. But that is this building just here. Bet that never has ice on the roof. Yeah, there you go. In fact, I can just see it growing through. Yeah, sounds absolutely crazy to us here in the UK that you've got a cannabis dispensary just growing. Right, so this is the Georgetown Raleigh State Forest now, so lots and lots of greenery coming up. Doctor, they need to mow the freeway, yeah. Simon, you absolutely loved Boston when you visited. Nice place, great sports, nice people, and very nice city. Fair enough. Isn't one I've ever been to, I'm afraid. Hi Synth, hello. Sadly you can't join today. The PC is broken. You're in for a week. Oh wow, oh, that's bad. So low pond reflecting our sunlight just there. And can I just see something there? What's that? I'm trying to have a look, see if I can see that on Google Maps. That looks rather strange, doesn't it? Just to the south of that river. Ah, it's the Haverhill Road Conservation Area. Apparently, can you just see that? And yeah, for those of you that got Google Maps, it is obviously there. Haverhill Road Conservation Area. Just look like very. Are they baseball pitchers? Maybe. Not entirely sure. Right, let's get back on track. We've got a nice big building coming down there. What could that be? So that is the Masconomet Regional High School. What I find amazing about the simulator and stuff like this is you can see the shape of that, and I'm looking at the shape of it next to me on my second screen, and it looks almost exactly the same. So it's managed to pick out the satellite technology, obviously picked out the shape of the building, and then the artificial intelligence has come in and drawn it in great detail, complete with the sports ground as well. And there you've got baseball pitchers. So yeah, that is a really neat job. Matthew, dispensaries are all over the place now with the law changes in recent years. Yeah, I think you mentioned that last time. Mikhail, you have to tell everyone you've made your first flight on VATSIM today. Oh, well done, Mikhail. And how was it? And how nervous were you? I'm always interested to know how nervous people are. Right, I'm just going to drop my altitude a little bit. let's get down. I think it does. It takes quite a bit of courage to make that first call on VATSIM. So well done to you, Miko. Hi Synth, while you're stuck with the phone and YouTube, which tutorial should you start for VATSIM? First of all, I would check out the one where I show you how to practice on VATSIM. I think that's probably a bit of a must. Okay, this is Hawthorne, or Hathorne, not quite sure how they pronounce that, to be honest with you. But yeah, Hawthorne or Hathorne, little area that we're coming through now, and this is quite built up, and I think it's going to remain rather built up now. We're going to see lots of different places as we come through here. Look at that bright red building. What's that? Is that bright red in the stream on the satellite as well? Can't say as I've seen that. Oh, it is. What is it? It's New England Premier Sportsplex. It's not quite as bright pink on the it's not quite that bright and pink in the satellite imagery, but yeah. Mikael, it was nerve-wracking, but it was great and next level. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's how I think most people describe it. Praval, thank you very much. Hope you're well. Christian, should you fly over Salem to Boston? You can if you wish. Obviously, I'm sticking almost religiously to the I-95 until we get to Boston. Then we're going to have a look around. And I think you can tell now the superior quality of the imagery as we're coming into some of these larger areas. And the road we're going to take you, the I-95, is the one that now curves and bends off left ahead of me. It then joins the, is it the Yankee Division Highway? That becomes I-95, is that right? I think that's just about to start coming up. There is some unbelievable intersection junctions coming up. GD, I'm the Diamond DV20, and I'm flying. And I believe is that Boston Airport we can just see on the horizon? Right, here we go. So watch, look at this for a for an intersection. So I-95 now takes us off right. So here's I-95, and look at that, the fact that you can see the chevrons as well down there. I think's pretty amazing. The Northeast Nursery Contractor Centre. So here's I-95 coming down, and then I think we've got a huge. Yeah, look at these intersections there. They take some designing, don't they? But the scenery definitely gets better as it does. Look at that! Oh, wow! The road actually disappearing underneath. Sadly, the cars don't. They continue at the same level. but never mind. Okay, so we need to make sure we're on the right road here. I-95 is this one, which appears to be coming away from the complexity, the built-up area behind us, and we're coming to. Is there another Walmart coming up? I don't think it's a Walmart actually, but it is a massive retail complex. You can see. I don't think it's got a name. It's just made up. Market Street, Linfield, Yard House. Yeah, they're just some of the different restaurant names there, aren't they? Anyone wants to join, get yourself, I would say, at Boston, Logan, and we are on the North Europe server. And if we just have a quick look behind us, we can see lots of built-up area. There's the Atlantic Ocean. And now the I-95 starts to head just inbound a little bit. There's self-use store. No, it isn't. Bit of dyslexia coming in there, I'm afraid. Store yourself. Store yourself. That blue building just down there. Okay, let's make a left-hand turn. And yeah, now we're coming out of that built-up area. For some reason, the quality of the textures down below obviously not looking quite as good. So satellite imagery maybe not quite as great. Now, the big lake that you can see there is Lake Quananapoit, I'm guessing. By guessing, I mean I know what it's called, I just can't pronounce it. And we've got Jordan's Furniture and the Longhorn Steakhouse. Who wants steak? I love a good steak. And Subaru of Wakefield, just there, with a Lakeside Inn Hotel. What an obvious name. Tell you, Store Yourself sounds like a discount cryogenic freezing facility. Yeah, easy freeze. So we've not taken off from Boston Logan, no, and we're not there yet. So plenty of time for anyone who wants to join. Get yourself to Boston. Do you know what I've not seen? We've seen Burger King, we've seen McDonald's, so two of the big major chains. What I've not seen yet is a Pizza Hut or a KFC. Are they restricted to the southern states in the USA? So I-95 intersects Road 28, just there. And we can see, sorry, not Road 28, it was I-93, correction, I-93. Road 28 was just a little bit behind us. But yeah, so we're still on I-95, of course. I-93 has just gone behind us there, you can see it. So we're going through a bit of an industrial estate, really, I guess. You can see textures seem to have come back, so good satellite imagery just here. Dr. Magic Taco Bell! Yeah, I've not seen a Taco Bell either. So, interesting that we've not seen one of those. The Crown Plaza Hotel. There you go, the Crown Plaza Hotel. Car park doesn't look very full, does it? Matthew, Pizza Hut's slowly dying. Really? Is that due to chains like Domino's or something? So Pizza Hut's slowly dying and KFC's are usually off the highway. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Not quite sure why that is. We'll, we may have to check that out. Usually we only get that when we're coming into a photogrammetry area, isn't it? So, strangely enough, my internet connection seems to be pretty decent. So, anybody else get that sort of message randomly, occasionally? So where are we now? Let's take a quick look. I've kind of lost my bearings a little bit after sorting that message. We're coming out of Woods Corner, I think it is. We'll check out the next interstate that comes as we cross, well, over to the right in a moment. We should have a rather green residential area. Lewis, we're back in the 320 most of the week. This is just a great way to end the week for us. Yes, so I think this is... I mean, what is it? It's now called the Yankee Division Highway, I-95. I find it strange that they're obviously interstate roads, but they've also got individual names. The Lexington Compost Facility, however, is just down here, I think. What's that airport? Have I missed an airport? I may have, or unless I've just got ahead of myself. Right, so the airport that you can see there is... Which airport is that? I'm trying to fly and read at the same time. It's not giving me a name. Anyone know which airport that is that we're just coming up to? I've got it on Google Maps. It's just Google Maps. If I'm zooming in and out and it's not giving me an airport. Is it Hanson Field? Lawrence G. Hanson Field Airport. So if anyone wants to join us, you can get yourself in there. Velox, am I live tomorrow? Sadly, that all depends on work. So if you're in our Discord server, you'll know if we're going live. Pilot Pack, thank you very much. So KBED is the ICAO code of that airport for anyone that wants to come in. I've just realised my plane's bouncing all over the place. Let me try and trim this aircraft out a little bit so I'm not trying to concentrate too much on flying. He says on a flying stream. I like to look out the window on these streams and see where it is we're going. To say the weather is now set to be just a default preset seems a little bit bumpy. There we go. Seems a bit better. So the river and the lakes that we can see, have these got names? It is the Cambridge Reservoir is what's coming up. Cambridge Reservoir, and we're intersecting. I'm just going to call it. It's the Concord Turnpike. Well, that's aviation related, isn't it? Concord Turnpike. And interestingly enough, this thing here is called Island. On the map, it's actually called Island. What an inventive name. Boston Dynamics is just here with Decifra Pharmaceuticals, obviously a pharmaceutical company. Mike's Fuel and Food Market, just down there. That photogrammetry problem that we had with low bandwidth doesn't seem to have reared its head again, so everything's working fine there. And yeah, so the Cambridge Reservoir, very nice. Once again, great graphics on the water. Are those cars flying, or is it my imagination? Oh, we've got some naughty messages in the chat. That's quite annoying. Never mind. Let's get rid of those. So, as we come down a little bit further, there seems to be, this is an area called West End, there seems to be quite a lot of industrial build-up around here. Christian, don't I as an Englishman want to visit the Boston Harbour? They dumped the whole tea in there. Yes, indeed, the Boston Tea Party as well. Okay, so we're coming up to Cedarwood. Cedarwood. Once again, there's a massive junction coming up. The Dog Retreat and Spa. That's where I need to send George. Matthew, you're going to have to head out. No problem, mate. Oh, it'll be great to have you flying with us next week. That'll be grand, but thank you for... Thank you for stopping by, my friend. Okay, so Over to the left over here is Cedarwood. That looks nice and pleasant, doesn't it? There we can see Boston in the distance. Now, does the... yeah, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to break off in a moment. We're going to break off and we're going to head into Boston. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to turn around because I'm going to follow that road. So, hard left. So we're breaking off I-95 for a moment because we need to visit Boston. We can't come this far and not visit Boston. So, Road 20. Is it called Road 20? Can someone educate me? Matthew, if you're still there. I mean, is that just the name of the road? Road 20. So, we're going to go back. I'm going to find that intersection. We're going to follow Road 20 and we're going to get into... we're going to get into Boston. Anyone wants to join us? Boston Logan is now the place to be. Okay, so can we follow? Well, I was going to follow this road here. Well, Western Street is it? But I think might even be overgrown. Road 117 should help us. Road 117 takes us straight into the centre of Boston. Matthew Brisley, how well are you, Matthew? So we're now following, well, what I think is Road 117. And passing, is it Waltham we're coming into? Waltham, and yeah, we're just going to stick with this, and essentially I've got the aircraft pointed at downtown Boston. You can see the skyscrapers in the distance. Nice to see that they're not popping in, they're just there, right from the way go. But yeah, just as I said before, my knowledge of USA geography isn't that great. So as I'm flying along, I'm also just looking at also looking at the map to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction. FB, good evening. If we'd have come down a little bit further south, actually, we would have met up with Interstate 90, I-90. That then would have passed us, taken us through Fenway Park, wouldn't it? But we'll find it somehow. And there's Harvard University as well, isn't there? J-Har, good evening. You may be late, but get yourself to Boston Logan. Get yourself to KBOS. KBOS. Trying to find these red buildings on the satellite imagery. Unfortunately, I'm failing. Oh, hang on. Oh no, we've got them. Home Depot. And there is I-90. So we're going to follow I-90. Lots of McDonald's. Oh, the sun's just gone in. Don't know if you can see it on the sim. Yeah, we've just the sun has indeed just gone in. Right, massive rail yard, that, isn't it? Huge rail yard. rail yard. Are trains coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator at all? Does anybody know? I've yet to see one. So I'm literally now just following I-19 to the centre of Boston. We're on the North Europe server, and we're at Boston. For anyone that wants to join us. Is that Fenway Park coming up? Home of the Red Sox? I think it might be. There it is. Very nice. Right, I need to look up so I don't smash into some skyscrapers now. And we can see the control tower to Boston Logan straight ahead. So yeah, as I say, anyone who wants to join us, Boston Logan is the place to go. Chewie, you're landing on a skyscraper. Good luck. Now, I have done in one of the live streams many months ago when the channel was quite young. We flew from Boston to, I think it was Dublin, on one of the long haul Fridays, as it was called back then. Obviously we do those on Mondays now, but yeah, that was one of our very first long haul flights that we did, and I think that was the last time we crossed the Atlantic. Chewie, let me know how you get on landing on a skyscraper. Now, as well as obviously being on multiplayer, I've also got live traffic turned on as well, just for a laugh. So, let's have a quick tour of Boston Logan International Airport. And as I said, if anyone wants to join us, get yourself here, KBOS, and you'll want to be on the North Europe server. Christian, you found a taxi park, orange cars only. The first flight I ever did crossing the Atlantic on VATSIM was to Boston. I flew Manchester to Boston, and air traffic control greeted me at Boston. Boston Tower was online. Air traffic control greeted me, and I thank them for being there for my first ever transatlantic crossing on VATSIM. That was years ago, off stream. Treadwin, can you want to do IFR flights on multiplayer? No, God no, this isn't IFR. You can do whatever you want on multiplayer, Treadwin. Anything at all. So what we need to do now is we need to hook back up with I-95. Now, I'm just trying to think what's the best way to do that. So at the moment we are we've got the JFK Presidential Library as well, just over here. So I'm just having a look. As I say, I'm literally using Google Maps in my way across. Right, does I-93 hook back up with I-95 at all? Yes, it does. So, best way to do this get my bearings. Dun dun dun. So if we fly straight out, and I-93 I believe is here. There's the start of I-93, and we're going to follow I-93 until it meets back up with I-95. Our whistle stop tour of Boston is complete. Pete, you couldn't resist a touch and go. Well, why not? When in Boston. Why not in Boston? You can see actually some of the photogrammetry failing me here. Some of the ground textures rather blurry at this point. They'll come back in. So now we're following I-93. We're going to meet back up with I-95 very soon. And we've got Boston College High School just here. There we go. Those textures seem to have just populated back in now. Now, strangely enough, there's a little beach coming up. I don't know if you can see that. Anyone want to tell me what that's called? Believe it or not, it is Malibu Beach. Surely we are on the wrong coast for that. Oh, Christian, were they the yellow cars you were talking about? Or something similar to that? Oh, I bet they're school buses, aren't they, actually? I bet they're all school buses. What's that? The Rainbow Swash. The Rainbow Swash. National Grid. Yeah, it's there. It even said National Grid on it. That's incredible. That's really neat to see, isn't it? Another level of detail from Azobo. Pilot Pat, you've had a crash to desktop. No! That's the last thing we want from anyone. The Garvey Playground is just there. I'm going to get some altitude again now as we head back out. Matthew, yes, definitely. School buses. And Pope John Paul II Park. Okay, this is the Neponset River that we're just crossing. Keystone Apartments just there. Let's continue following I-93. Granite Avenue is the road that you can see running to the left hand side of that. Andy, you were just about to ask if we were on VATSIM. Then you saw the aircrafts flying about. Yeah, we're not on VATSIM. We're on the North Europe server. If anyone wants to fly us, we're just leaving Boston. Now, I believe, is it East Milton that... East Milton is coming up. I can see a massive building there beneath us. Try and spot that on the... and I think that may have been a Home Depot, actually. Left-hand turn. And another UPS store. Now, we've seen those previously on the streams. Everyone wondering where their lost parcels are. Christian, another golf club. Yeah, plenty of those, isn't there? Right, I-93 should diverge in a moment, and we need to head westbound to get back up to I-95. So here it is. so I believe we're now heading west. And this road, I-93, will take us back all the way to I-95. Some great colours on some of the roofs here. Look at that. That I don't know what it is, but it looks very well detailed, doesn't it? So the big lake you can see just down there is the Great Pond. Some of these names are classics. Right, I want to gain some altitude again now. And we're just going to stick with I-93. Diverges again in a second. And it meets up with Road 25. No, correction, Road 28. Which, looking from my map, if anyone fancies a Domino's pizza, take a left here. Dr. Magic, you were going to do VATSIM today, but you got distracted by FS2 crew. Oh, there's room for both. We might try that in a future stream. I'm sure we shall. Air Trooper 37, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. If anyone wants to join us, Norwood Memorial Airport is coming up. And I-95 once again is coming up very, very shortly. Houghton's Pond is just there. And Houghton's Pond Ballpark, quite obviously, beneath us. Brookwood Community Farm, also just coming up. So we're about an hour into our flight. We've seen Boston. We thought we'd get this far today, so that's good. Now we just need to check we make the right left-hand turn, because there's two junctions very close to each other. It's not this one. This one is the junction with the 138. And what are they? Are those buses tipped over on the sides? The car's just going to fly straight through those, perhaps. They must be some toll booths of some description. Boston Mutual Life Insurance Company, just down there. And here we go. We're back on I-95, which seems to disappear into the trees somewhat just there, doesn't it? So here we go. Left. Welcome back, I-95. And I am wondering, yeah, look at that. Look at that. That was obviously an old interstate that's overgrown, no longer used, and you can actually see that on the map as well. So that's great to see. The fact that the aging wreckage of an old highway is actually still there. Christian, you're spamming the screenshot channel on the Discord server. I like to see those. Obviously, I don't have really much time to do anything like that and take those while streaming, chatting away. But I do like checking those out a little bit later on. Del Monte Fresh Produce, the man from Del Monte. He say, cod. Brian, good evening. Looks like great weather for VFR. Yes, well, it would be, except it's not actually in real life, because real life weather is an absolute mess. In fact, should we actually, can we have a look? Should we just have a quick check? Because we've flown some miles now. Let's pop live weather on. Ugh. Yeah, that's the reason we're not on live weather. Live weather is not great at all at the minute. So now, after passing the metropolitan area of Boston, we are probably going to have a few miles now of, well, probably not very much. Cliff, you're currently flying from somewhere to LAX. Just wanted to find the approach shots for the ILS frequency and altitude points. You can't find any. Any suggestions? Do you have VATSIM? Would be my not VATSIM, Navigraph. Do you have Navigraph? That's what you need if you want to find the approach charts. But there is ChartFox that's available. The Cape Club of Sharon golf course, just here. The Cape Club of Sharon. There's got to be a reason behind that name, hasn't there? Siemens Healthineers, that building there, Siemens building, electronical giant. Oh, we're coming up to another Walmart Supercenter. And Applebee's Grill and Bar. Do you know, at the end of these streams, I always want a steak. I don't know why, but the bar and grill areas and shops and restaurants always make themselves known, don't they? More school buses tucked away into the woodlands. You can see just there, we're straight over it. As well as Victory Church, which was the building. Victory Church housing the school buses. Interesting. The two different roads of I-95 diverging just now. Oh, I see a Starbucks. There's a Starbucks in this little village just there. Now we need to make sure we stay on I-95. It's because there's a couple of big major roads coming together, so let's just make sure we get the right one. Now I-95 continues to bear around to the left as we are looking at it. Air Trooper did a flight yesterday through the hurricane. It was amazing and accurate. Yeah, I think live weather's probably got a lot better since the launch of the simulator. One of the few things that has got better since the launch of the simulator. Bradley, go to Liverpool. Why would I do that? Dr. Magic, are there usually this many trees in Boston? To be fair, well, we've now passed Boston. We're on the way out of Boston. And to be fair, I'm looking at the satellite imagery and yeah, it's it looks exactly like the satellite imagery. I see a Dunkin' Donuts. Not only do I see a Dunkin' Donuts, it even says here, I don't know if anyone else does this and has got Google Maps open at the side of me, but with Dunkin' Donuts on the map it actually says free delivery on first order. So, let's all go there, shall we? What is that? That can't be a Dunkin' Donuts, that's huge. No, that can't be right. Oh, it's a like a little retail park, and Dunkin' Donuts is obviously just one of the airports, one of the shops. Jhog, what's the next airport you've crashed? How did you crash? Your VFR. I have no idea what the next airport is. We're now at a place coming up on our right, another one called Foxborough. Oh, Jayhawk, that explains it. You crashed on the highway. Right. I'm just having a look. I actually have no idea what our next airport will will be. I can't see any in the distance. I've also lost my place on the map, so I'm going to have to wait for the next intersection to come up and see what it looks like. So I think there's a big intersection coming up, and this is Foxborough. There's a Foxborough Country Club. That's a golf course, of course. So many golf courses. Right, here we go. I think that's that intersection I was referring to a moment ago. Yeah, it is. So, Foxborough Country Club. You can't actually see it. It's surrounded by trees. Just here. Then we've got another big intersection with Interstate 495 coming up. Oh, right. Mansfield Municipal Airport. Mansfield Municipal Airport. I'm not sure if I've got an ICAO code for that. But Mansfield Municipal Airport is over there. Somewhere. If anyone wants to Google it, Mansfield Municipal Airport. I'm afraid I can't grab the code for it. I've got too many windows open. And again, I'm just trying to scoot ahead on... if you can find an airport slightly to the south of that, that would be the one that I go for. Fergus ST, we are on the North Europe server. Now, this area coming up here, that we just see is looking rather bright and washed out, I think is the Borough Sand and Stone Corporation. Oh, and there's a Petite Paws doggy daycare. Nick T, good evening. Christian, is that the code? K1B9. That's some daft codes, don't they? Yeah, well, that's definitely where we are. That lake is Greenwood Lake. That looks nice. Looks really nice, actually. A few houses dotted around on the edge of the lake. Air Trooper 37, they need to put porta potties in these planes. What would happen if Well, we could just land in the... You could just land on a grass strip down there, go in a bush, and no one would know any different. Animal Crackers Nursery School. Aren't animal crackers something you eat? Down there somewhere. And as we come up to this next intersection, there's a little village, and it must be a little village because it's not very big at all. Probably consists of around 2 roads, but it's called Crystal Village. And we've got the Bishop Fionn High School. 3 guesses where that is. You can see the football pitch. It won't be a football pitch, will it? Off the leash doggy daycare. Does no one like their dogs around here? That's 2 doggy daycare centres. So you've got doggy daycare just here, and over here you have got North Attleborough Animal Control. Interesting that they're right next door to each other. Nick T, where are we? We're now south of Boston. Still following I-95, south of Boston. Interestingly enough, that is the Interstate 295 that we've just met up with. You can see that's the end of Interstate I-295 as well. And this is Manchester Pond. Oh, I feel at home. Manchester Pond. That's a blooming big pond. A pond is something you have in your back garden. That's a blooming dam. Attleborough High School over to our left, just there. Oh, hey up. That looks different. They've got blue edges of their football fields, not red. And what's more, they're blue on the satellite imagery. So, it's stuff like that. I don't know why it excites me. I just think they've done such an amazing job with this. Christian, when we reach Washington, we need to land at the Lincoln Memorial Pool. Circle up for a... Yeah, you bet. You can't do it in real life, so you might as well do it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm looking for the Stony Lee Golf Club. Another golf club. Oh, there. Oh, actually, there it is, I think. Yeah. You can see all the bunkers. And the fairways. There's a bar called West Indies Live just over to my right. Wonder if they show the cricket. Nick T, I'm looking at Google Maps, mate. Well, for those of you that haven't caught one of these streams before, these iconic flight series, we're literally following an iconic highway or route. This is the first series. This is the third episode, and we're following I-95, Interstate 95, all the way down the eastern seaboard of the USA. Right, this is a massive retail centre. We've got a Home Depot. We've got a McDonald's. There's the McDonald's. We've got McDonald's. TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx. I didn't know they were in America. And this is Pawtucket. Is that right? So there's got to be an airport around here somewhere for anyone that wants to join us. Has to be. Massive built up area. I'm just having a quick zoom out to see if I can see any on the maps. But we are about to cross the border. We're now coming into Rhode Island. Dr. Magic, you took a wrong turn. You thought it was a bit quiet. Oh no. Right, so is that... Can we just see the sort of like... I don't know if they're toll booths or state lines. Oh, baseball. Is that a baseball ground over there? Well, obviously it's a baseball ground. Just wondered which one it was. Oh, is it it's the McCoy Stadium. I don't know who plays there. Who plays at the McCoy Stadium? Home of the minor league Pawtucket Red Sox. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. Hard right. I don't think I've ever heard of the place Pawtucket. This place looks huge. And there's a lot of detail as well in the ground scenery below me. Oh wow, there's a bus terminal coming up. It's got a bright red roof. We'll see if we can spot it. Oh, I think I see it actually, just there. I don't know the name. I don't know the reason behind this, but it's the Peter Pan bus terminal. Christian, yeah, huge cemetery coming up. That will be this one down here. Even in the simulator, they look really nice and peaceful, don't they? Well, I say nice and peaceful. It's next to I-95, so perhaps not that peaceful. Brian, we could do the Trans-Canadian Highway. Well, this is just short of 2,000 metres long, this one. Yeah, there's the Peter Pan bus terminal. You can see the buses. Big white building coming up just here. It's the United States Postal Service, ladies and gentlemen. I-95 really does weave its way through this city, doesn't it? Lots just here. This is must be coming to almost like the downtown area. You can see that they're not skyscrapers. They're, well, they would be here in the UK, but in America, I don't think these are skyscrapers. These are just standard office block buildings, aren't they? Providence River should make an appearance pretty soon. The Rhode Island Convention Centre, just beneath us, with Regency Plaza Apartments as well. What on earth is that? Who's flying that? So, making the right-hand turn. Right, there's a huge hospital complex coming up. And that's round here. Rhode Island Hospital. Hasbro Children's Hospital as well. So yeah, Providence River is what you can see straight ahead of us. Platforms Dance Club. That's where we should all head to afterwards. That sounds nice and 80s, doesn't it? Right, 90-degree bend. I can see the gas canisters, gas cylinders, all on the satellite imagery as well. Another baseball park stadium for Woods Elementary School that we can see just there. Now, tennis court centre directly beneath us. Opposite that is the Good Fortune Supermarket. Good Fortune, what a good name. And then we've got Polo Lake, which if I just pan the camera up you can see. Oh sorry, wrong way. This is Polo Lake. Polo Lake is just there to my left. Never would I have dreamed years ago that we'd have been able to have this much detail in a simulator. Right, airport coming up for anyone who wants to join us. It is TF Green Airport. TF Green Airport. Let me just, well, I'm now flying straight and level. I'm going to see if I can get anyone an ICO code on North Europe server. We're coming towards the end of the flights, but we'll carry on for a little while. TF Green Airport. I have no idea what the ICO code of that is. No, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. TF Green Airport. Is that its real name? Regional Airport in Warwick, Rhode Island, offering direct rail service to Providence. Michael, we're only about 180 miles from New York now. There's a chance New York may come next week. I love the fact that all these regional airports are done in, obviously not handcrafted detail, but there's certainly detail there. No, that's green, as in the colour green. TF Green Airport. I've never, well, obviously never heard of it, but I can't even find it on Flight Radar 24 or anything like that. It's ridiculous. But there it is, if anyone does happen to find it. KPVD, is that the airport, Talia Johnson? I actually have no idea. Let me have a quick check. What did you say? Kilo Papa Victor Delta. Yes, it is. Kilo Papa Victor Delta. Not quite sure on the map why it's just coming up as TF Green Airport, but indeed, that is what it is. Oh, windmill. Do you know, I think that may be the first one of these we've seen on this stream. Now, hang on a minute. I'm losing my bearings. I'm over a junction. I've been trying to find that airport. I have no idea where we are. I'm going to have to circle here because I've lost where we are. Hang on. Oh no, that's okay. I think we go straight on. I just have to make a 180 now, a 360 now. Yep, that's fine. I know where we are. So this was the intersection with the 117, apparently. Although I'm not convinced, to be honest with you. I think we're heading the right way. Find out in a couple of minutes. Yeah, took my eyes off the map, took my eyes onto the phone, trying to find that airport. And yeah, well, I'm hoping now that we're still on the right track. So hopefully the road, the interstate, will bend to the right in a moment. Oh, I think that's right, actually. Yeah, that looks like a big subway station just there down beneath us, so we are on the right track. Pete, that sea is the Atlantic. That's a big sea. Really, we then have Concord State Airport, is that right? Captain N, can I advise you where it appears to be as offline in the simulator and airports or without textures? You may need to post some screenshots in our Discord server, and I can try and help you out with that. Right, so I-95 continues straight on just here. And we've got the Showcase Cinema down there. Wonder what's showing. The Brewers Supply Group. Big white building. I spy McDonald's again. I wonder if they've run out of milkshakes due to supply problems like they have here in the here in England. But I mean, honestly, running out of supply problems, running out of milkshakes. That's the only reason I go to McDonald's. Large chocolate milkshake. But yeah, let me see if I can point McDonald's out to you then. I do think someone needs to come out with an app that just pops all the McDonald's into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can you imagine just pulling up in your in either the Airbus 135 or even the Airbus 320 parked outside the McDonald's? So let me see if I can pick it out. The Golden Arches is just there. There you go. That is a McDonald's. Christian, I don't know what we're running out of, mate, but apparently we've run out of milkshakes. There's no milkshakes here. McDonald's have no milkshakes due to logistics and supply chain issues. Right, what on earth goes into one of those milkshakes that you've run out of? And I know, I'm better off not knowing. There once again appears now to be lots and lots and lots of trees ahead of us. And I believe our next airport that we hit is the Westerly State Airport. Kilo Whiskey Sierra Tango. At least I think that's the next airport. So what have you guys done all bank holiday? Well, do you know what? I've always wanted to ask this question, and now is the perfect time with a bit of a global audience. Does everybody have a bank holiday weekend? Or if it's not called a bank holiday weekend, what is it called? So we've had today off here in the UK, which is why we've had no long haul mileage Monday flight. The Children's Dentistry of Coventry. The poor souls that have to go there. Oh, hang on. I'm missing my turn. The Reynolds Pond. Once again, another pond. These ponds, everything's bigger in America, isn't it? And just down there was the Big River Management Area. Is that run by beavers? Yeah, so just coming back to the McDonald's supply issue, yeah, apparently we've run out of drivers. There's no drivers to drive the milkshakes to McDonald's. It's an absolute tragedy. Next weekend is Labor Day weekend in the US. Right, okay. Oh, shame we won't be in Washington for that. Be nice to be in the capital. Labor Day in Canada as well. I see. You can see where the textures change, can't you? The satellite imagery is not quite as good. There's the change. So yeah, it suddenly struck me when doing this flight tonight. I'm saying it's bank holiday weekend, everyone's back to work tomorrow, but for the rest of the world, has everyone not been working already? And Tom on Facebook has just messaged to say he's just tuned in, he's been out drinking at the local and now he's spread out on the sofa. That's what everyone does on a bank holiday. Or it seems to be, here in the UK. That is very little other than drink. Tom Beats, anyone know whether the fly-by-wire and working title CRJ will come to the Xbox? Well, the fly-by-wire mod will do, once the stable version's all sorted out. Ooh, there's a restaurant up there. Dan's Place. What does Dan make? GD, there was an article in a paper, it showed a former Flybe pilot driving the HGV. He earns more as a lorry driver than he did as a pilot. See, that actually really saddens me. It truly does. I mean, the amount of things that pilots have to go through. Okay guys, so we are headed towards, or we're going to break off. We're going to finish our stream tonight at a smaller airfield. Smaller airfield, and it's going to be Richmond. Now, I just need to get there. So in a little while, we come to we come to a place called Wyoming. Once we get to Wyoming, then we're going to take a left, and we're going to see if we can find this Richmond Airport. I literally just found it on Google Maps and thought that's a great place to end the stream. GD said it was earning 45k on the road. Yeah, wow. Supply and demand, isn't it? Italy, although in Canada it's a longer and extra U for Labour Day. The I-95 diverges many times, doesn't it? The North Road and the South Road. Obviously, back here together again for now. So we're coming up to the intersection in a moment, and then we're going to make a left at Richmond's Farms Fresh Market. We're going to nip down past Dunkin' Donuts and Lickety Split's ice cream shop, and then hopefully we're going to find the Richmond airfield. LA Kids 143, you're addicted to the stream. You're very welcome. Hope you've had a great weekend. Right, so there we go. There's the intersection, and I might come back into the flight deck for this final part. So let me get in. We want to take a left just here. So a left just here. And oh, Lickety Split's ice cream shop looks very, very nice. There's the town plaza. This is road 138. We've got the Westerly Community Credit Union. And I'm hoping if we just follow this road, it should leave us, of course, to a golf club. There's the golf club, Meadowbrook Golf Course. And it should be, take a left here. And I think this is the first small little airfield we've started or ended one of these streams that it didn't, isn't it? We've kind of gone for the rather large international or regional airports, but I'm hoping it's modelled. It should be. They've modelled a heck of a lot, haven't they? So, can anyone spot an airfield? This is the Beaver River Golf Club. 2 golf clubs there, confusing me. And it should just be straight ahead of us. This road here comes round, and it's literally, it's a very, very small airfield. I think that might be it actually. Richmond Airport. It's not so much an airport as it is an old shack with a bit of a runway. There it is. Okay, I'm going to circle over here, let you guys land. That is one small airport. It's an airfield with a hut. And there's a random rotating beacon light or something. Oh, hang on, what's that? That's just come into play. So anyone flying anything bigger than the aircraft I'm in, good luck getting down there. I'm going to circle this for a while. Yeah, we can all land and then go and have a game of golf. And then I'm heading back to the ice cream shop. That sounded really nice. GD spending a few hours tomorrow learning the CRJ. Oh, good luck to you. Look at that. You can see the... presumably that's an aircraft that took off and didn't just crash on takeoff. But there's no ILS approach available for this runway. Christian, you're down and safe. I can see you, mate. Well played. Right, well, let me get in and see if I can get him down and safe. Might have to make a few more circles of this. Lose some airspeed. That is a small airport, isn't it? And you know what? That's kind of fun, because we've not done a small sort of bush airport. I kind of want to get on Wikipedia or something after this to find out what this airport is actually used for. Maybe crop dusting. I'm going to make one more circle and then hopefully come in and land on runway 11. Holy moly, what happened there? That's what happens when you fly an Airbus for a VFR flight. Or a Dreamliner, whatever it was. Well, that was some amusement. So let's continue our downwind leg a little further. There's going to be plenty of trees to try and avoid, isn't it? Coming in on here. Has anyone done these VFR flights that we're doing in... Oh, there's some voodoo magic going off down there. That van's floating. Has anyone done any of these VFR flights that we do in VR, in virtual reality? Just wondered if anyone did, and how that looked. Right, let me see if I can get down. This isn't the best lineup in the world, but see how we do. I've got no puppies. Myself and a few others coming in. Get your flaps down. And oh, I'm running out of runway. And we're down. That wasn't bad at all, actually. That was better than I was expecting. Nice stuff. Is everybody else down and safe? That thing's never getting off the ground again. He's stuck here for good. They're going to have to disassemble that aircraft and bring it back in. Oh, and we can actually refuel. That's pretty cool. The fact that they've got staff here to greet us is also pretty impressive. I didn't think there was any staff working here. Simon, you've done some VR flying, but obviously eyes being sensitive, I can fully understand that. Christian, your VR goggles are your next investment. You've just bought a new graphics card. How can you afford VR goggles? What are you doing in the real world that the rest of us should be doing? Well, you know, that was probably one of my favourite airports to land at. Just something very, very different, wasn't it? and yeah, and looks really, really nice. I think this is also the first time I've landed at one of these little outback airports here in the US, and it's great stuff. Dr. Magic, you may have to go VR on the next flight. Go for it. Love to see that. Why are the flaps still down? They should be coming up now. I'll put those up. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed episode 3 of our tour. Next week there's a chance we could make it to New York. Will be interesting to see, of course, if that is the case. The biggest challenge next week is going to be remembering where on earth this airport is to depart from, because it is a little just a little concrete strip with a couple of outhouse buildings. I think it's going to be a long walk into town, and I'm hoping there's some sort of cafe in there because I'm starving now. And tell you, the grass strips that are difficult to spot from the air, yeah, indeed. Graphics looking mighty fine. So a big thank you to all of you who have flown alongside me today. I hope you've enjoyed that. I certainly have. I love these VFR iconic flights. They always look like good fun. And to end at an airport like this for the first time, I think is fantastic. So thanks very much, guys. Hopefully I will be back tomorrow, but I can't guarantee that. Obviously we'll be back in the Airbus if that is the case. Sadly, I can't guarantee. It all depends on how the day pans out. Big thank you to those of you who donated and contributed during the stream, and if you have enjoyed the flight as well, please make sure that you hit the like on the stream, as that does help other people find the channel. Also hit the subscribe button if you aren't already a subscriber, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss the stream next week. So thank you very much to each and every one of you. I hope you've all had a great day. Let's hope the weather clears up next time we do this flight. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thanks to every single one of you who has flown alongside me this evening, and yeah, once again, thanks for being an awesome community. Good night, everybody.